Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum once again. The sessions about AFM June 23 orientation and the last episode of the session. And with this episode, what we will do, um, we just discuss about AFM question, that whenever you are attempting AFM question, so how the question should reflect in the examination hall. For example, in front of your screen, a question, a very basic question that's already solved here, the NPV question. So I'm not here to discuss right now about to calculate the NPV. It's a very basic NPV question. Okay, this is a very basic NPV question. So for example, you have done the question of the NPV here. Here NPV, net cash flows, NPV calculation, discount rate, and the right side is all about the workings. Right side is all about the workings. So this is what you have done or it's reflecting the technical marks. But what about if I say that if we are going to working for professional marks, how to incorporate professional marks? How to incorporate the professional marks? If this type of questions, if we are handling, so how to handle the professional marks? That is the point. So for example, if I say number one, the professional marks, the communication. Let's suppose there is a marks about the communication. So with communication, examiner is expecting you, number one, about the report writing structure. But right now, there's no report writing here. So report writing structure means format of the report writing. Okay, and many more things, format, introduction, conclusion. But very basic, the communication professional skill marks include report writing structure. I'm not involving in detail about that. Number one. Number two, the communication marks include the presentation of workings with a spreadsheet. It includes labeling of appendix, for example, you mention appendix 1 NPV, you mention appendix 2 working, you mention, for example, here you mention the working, contribution, you have to mention working 1. So the marker will go and check the working 1. Working 1 is about contribution. Working 2 about tax depreciation. That is working 2. Working 2 tax depreciation. So this is working 2. Working 3 for working capital. So this is what about labeling of appendices and all workings. One more thing, use of spreadsheet function. Use of spreadsheet functions. What does that mean? For example, for NPV, here the net cash flow. This is net cash flow. We will identify net cash flow and if question mention NPV. Oh, sorry, discounted 12%. So you don't need to make a step for discount factor, then present value. Instead, you have to directly use the spreadsheet function. Is equal to NPV, bracket open, all air 1 to air 6 plus 2200, sorry, once again, is equal to NPV, bracket open, 12%, comma, then select all air 1 to 6, bracket close, plus 2200 minus, that is 948.03. That's here we use a spreadsheet function. Here we use a spreadsheet function. So using all spreadsheet functions, like in future we will work out with the IRR, BSOP models. So apply spreadsheet functions. If you don't use the spreadsheet functions and use in a conventional manner, just putting the discount rate, then present value, then NPV, you are wasting time and losing the marks of professional marks. Can you please reply me? Is this clear, all of you? This is first professional mark, that is communication. Can you please reply me, class? Number 2. Professional marks about analysis and evaluation. Analysis and evaluation. The first point, use the correct data. Use the correct data or correctly use correctly the data or information. For example, for NPV calculation. For NPV calculation. What does that mean? For NPV calculation, that is called one part of analysis. What does that mean? If question is given, for example, question data given about the sales data, sales price, growth rate, inflation rate, tax rate. So getting the right value of sales price, getting the right value of material price, getting the right value of labor cost, getting the right value of inflation rate, growth rate, tax rate. If you are putting right information and incorporating in the right manner, you will be able to get marks for analysis. Number 1. Number 2, one of the marks for analysis and evaluation here, if you write the conclusion, for example, the project with, for example, here with positive NPV should accept should be accepted. So if you finally make comment, you will also be able to get the marks of analysis and evaluation. Candidates, can you please reply me? Are you with me? How to handle the professional marks, communication, analysis, evaluation? Because next to it's much more critical. Okay. Further, the rest of the part, for example, professional marks related to skepticism. Very basic points I am telling you. Skepticism means critic. Critic, why we are here to critic the things? To make decision with well informed decision. Sir, what does that mean? Examiner expecting that whenever we are writing the answer, so our position in a manner to challenge the information. For example, before making the final decision, we have to challenge the method of investment appraisal. For example, NPV has some limitations. If you remember the point of F9, that NPV is only available for investment appraisal where no change in capital structure. CS, capital structure. If the capital structure becomes changed, NPV method will not be applicable. So we will say that we are here to use the investment appraisal method, but maybe for this investment we need the finance where the capital structure will change. So this NPV method is not applicable or relevant here. And we can also challenge the information provided. The information provided. For example, we have taken assumption. For example, we have taken assumption that tax rate will remain same over the life of project. So this is the assumption. These are the assumption. We can challenge this assumption. Further assumption, the inflation rates, whatever the inflation rate given in the question, that may change. The growth rate, the discount rate, CAPM, all these things. So whenever we are attempting the exam for skepticism, you can get the marks by mentioning to challenge the method of investment appraisal or whatever the syllabus area. Challenge the information available, for example, tax rate, inflation rates. More thing also relevant for skepticism, but we'll discuss later. This is what the basic aspect. Same skepticism. Sorry, fourth one is commercial acumen. Means in your answer, whenever we are attempting the answer, examiner expecting that we have to discuss the thing that whatever we are suggesting, these are practical, commercial viable, be practical, that is commercial viable. For example, for example, we are using expected value methods because of uncertainty. So here, if the company applying the probability analysis expected value, this is actually we are evaluating the investment, but it's commercial reality that some sign of worst scenario need to incorporate by probability. For example, for example, if we are evaluating an investment, but in the current economic situation, the sales are uncertain, maybe increase, maybe decrease, because come in 6 months, some political instability may arise. So you reply me, if some political instability may arise and we ignore the political instability and calculate the NPV, will this be the practical or viable NPV calculation, or either we need to incorporate the political instability issue? What do you say? Should we ignore the political instability with our scenario? Do reply. We cannot ignore the political instability but incorporate the political instability within the NPV by expected value method. So that is called be practical. Same case, for example, in the case of non-profit organization, NPO, non-profit organization, you are evaluating an investment, but financing, question mentioning financing is a real challenge for investment. So we need to incorporate a point, the investment appraisal as mentioned above, but this investment appraisal only viable if we easily avail, easily getting the finance. But practically, if the case mentioned, practically there is a challenge to arrange the finance, and for that basis, if we are not able to get the finance, not this investment appraisal is not practically viable. So within the scenario, something about be practical. Commercial acumen means be practical. So candidates, overall, what I'm going to say that the AFM solution, the AFM solution with the examination with like this picture, like this picture, that first above, it's all about technical marks. It's all about technical marks. These are technical marks. But we are working with the technical marks, either calculation or theory. We need to indulge the professional skill marks, either using the spreadsheet function, either report writing structure, either writing which challenge the NPV method or the information by skepticism, or incorporating some practical aspect, that is be practical. This is what about the picture or image you can develop in your mind about the AFM structure for the preparation. Candidates, my final wordings. My final wordings. This orientation session, is actually about the purpose of orientation session is actually about provide you the guidance to develop the right direction about the AFM. So the key point is that don't focus on selective studies, cover all syllabus areas with their respective weightage. Number two, if you really wanted to get under 40% to qualify the exam simulation is important. Number one, complete syllabus is important. CB practice is important, and attempting the question including the professional skill marks since the beginning of the syllabus. That's important. With us, with the HusseinKazi.com, the course of AFM will execute in a manner premium recorded lectures plus weekly live session plus evaluation of the assignments through the regular feedbacks. So I hope all of you are very much clear about how to develop the right approach for the AFM examination. So if you have any question, you can ask me accordingly. Otherwise, thank you very much. Take care at all. Assalamu alaikum. You can ask me any question. If you are watching the video, you can contact me on the WhatsApp. That is plus 923218271784. Plus 923218271784. Otherwise, if you are taking the live session, you can ask me the question here. Thank you very much. Take care a lot. Assalamu alaikum. This is the WhatsApp number. WhatsApp number. Thank you. Take care a lot. Assalamu alaikum. Ji, who are attending the live session can ask me the question.